welcome back. Today we're doing a top 5 video and a no more neutrals video, and I want to talk about 5 eyeshadow palettes that I would recommend if you are a neutral lover who's maybe a little bit intimidated by color and want to slowly jump into that world. So I'm going to kind of go by intensity. These are palettes that are all available right now, and I will link them all down below. But if you want to see my top 5 palettes for color for neutral lovers, then stick around. The first one I want to talk about is the IT Cosmetics Naturally Pretty palette. Now guys, I've talked about this one before. I did not like this palette at first. Now I love it. I feel like this palette is so wonderful if you just want to start dipping into some color, because it is surrounded and has that safety net of all these beautiful neutrals in this palette. It is a great palette for beginners. Again, you're not going to get crazy structured looks out of this palette. This palette's wheelhouse is more about the soft, hazy, kind of blown out, smoky type of looks. But you do have some gorgeous oranges in there. You have these purples, you have this blue, and they're all very subdued. So you're going to get a nice soft hint of color without it being crazy intimidating in your face, because that can be just a little much for people. I completely understand. It's not everybody's cup of tea. Not everybody wants to walk around with bright pink all over their eyes. But if you're somebody that loves your neutrals but maybe want to just kind of start tiptoeing into that color world, I would definitely recommend this one. And I would recommend this one if you are a little bit on the mature side, if you have texture on your eyelids, hooded eyes, because these just blend out beautiful. They're all matte, but they have almost a satinness, a satin feel to them. So they're so flattering on the eye without being completely flat and dry and matte, and without being too shimmery, which can accentuate texture sometimes. So this is just a great, great palette. Really, really do enjoy this palette. The next palette I want to talk about is from NYX, and this is one of the NYX Avant Pop palettes. This one is in Nouveau Chic. I love this palette. So again, you're getting some toned down neutral, you're getting some toned down colorful shades, but they're slightly more intense and in your face than the Naturally Pretty palette. They're also going to have some more shimmer to them. These are some really unique colors. I just find myself getting really, really inspired by this palette. I love these 2 shades over here. I think they're absolutely stunning. This peach shade is just one of my favorite inner corner highlights. You have this beautiful lavender color. So again, you're getting just some beautiful pops of color, but they're not crazy bright in your face. Pigmentation is outstanding on this. The formula is outstanding. Just a gorgeous, unique, I would say, I don't like saying mature, but sophisticated colors in this palette, that I think this palette would be a wonderful way to incorporate colors just on an everyday basis. These are appropriate to wear to the office, depending on how you do it. I mean, of course, you don't want to do a deep, dark, smoky eye going to the office. At least I don't. But if you want to just do a little bit of color on the lid, or a little bit of a pop of color on your lower lash line, I think this palette is absolutely fantastic. Great quality. Love this palette. The next palette I want to talk about is probably the one I would recommend most highly if you want to get into color. The reason why it's not my number 1 is because it's not the most intense color. But that is the Lorac Pro 2 palette. I love this palette. This palette gets labeled as a cool tone palette all the time, and I feel like that is just not really, I don't know, that just really doesn't vibe with me. It does have some beautiful cool tone shades, but it also has all of these warm, gorgeous shades up here. You get mattes, you get shimmer shades, and the quality is fantastic. And the reason why I think this is such a great palette if you want to start dipping into color is because you're getting some beautiful shades. You're getting this plum shade, this navy shade, this jade shade down here. I mean, which are gorgeous, gorgeous jewel tones. I mean, you just absolutely stunning. And it's like these are the deeper versions of the colors that I swatched in here. But again, you're getting a wonderful array of neutral shades, both warm and cool, to create any look. So it's a great way, this palette is a great way to sneak in just a little bit of color with whatever neutral look you're doing, whether it be on the lid, kind of smoked in the outer corner, underneath the lash line. I think this is just an absolutely beautiful palette. I think this palette is highly underrated because I think people automatically just assume it's a cool tone palette. Oh, it's the second one, it's got to be cool toned. You know what I mean? And I feel like this one is just a great mix of warm tones, cool tones, with some absolutely stunning pops of color in it. And if you're looking to pick up any of the Lorac palettes, this is probably the one I would recommend. because it's good. The next palette I would recommend is the Make Believe in Yourself palette from Tarte. I actually just recently picked this up. I'm wearing the shade Pixie, which is this one right here on my eyes today. These are absolutely stunning. These are so beautiful. You are getting just some gorgeous metallic pops of color that are absolutely insane. But the thing is that the colors are a little subdued. Do you see that pigmentation? The colors are a little subdued, so it's not going to be as intimidating to wear. So you can get a beautiful pop of shimmery, metallic, wet looking color on the eye without it being over the top and in your face. I mean, it's just, I think this is such an let me take my wristband off. I think this is such an absolutely stunning palette that I almost passed on. Like, I don't know what I was thinking, but I think this is great. I think if you have a bunch of neutrals in your collection, this palette is going to be a great accessory palette. And again, it's got intense pigmentation and intense reflectiveness, and that it's very metallic and gorgeous. But I think the way they selected the colors is beautiful and makes it very, very friendly for somebody just kind of inching into, you know, trying out some different colors, because this is not a complete palette, but it's going to be one that if you pair with your Naked Basics or your Sonia Kashuk Eyes on Neutral Matte, you know, or your Too Faced Chocolate Bar, it's going to just be beautiful in the way it performs and works with those palettes just to create some really beautiful pops of color. And it's on sale for 30 bucks right now. I think that is an absolute steal. So good. And guys, the last palette I want to talk about, I hate this freaking name, but it's the Totally Cute palette from Too Faced. This is actually on sale on their website right now. And the reason why I would suggest this one, because the colors in here are definitely more intense, but you have all of these beautiful neutrals right here that act as a safety net. So this can be a complete palette just in regards of a neutral palette, but then you have these beautiful just pops of color down here that are just stunning. You get the green, the purple, the blue, and the pink. And I mean, I just think this is such a, I'm doing this backwards. I think this is such a beautiful palette, and just with some really, really unique pops of color in there that, again, that are great. You know, you could use that pink on the inner corner. You could use that purple on the lower lash line. You could use that really pretty green all over the lid. You know, you could do a smoky eye with that Storm Cloud shade. I mean, I just think this one's definitely the most intense one in terms of the, you know, actual pigment and intensity of the colors. But I think that it's a great color. It's a great palette because they had enough foresight to make it a complete neutral palette with just some pops of color. So I absolutely enjoy this palette as well. I hate the name, I hate the stickers, but you can't deny the fact that it is a very well thought out, put together palette, especially if you want to try some of these beautiful, unique colors. I think it's absolutely great and definitely worth, you know, looking into. Alright guys, so those are my 5 palettes I would suggest for people who are neutral lovers who want to start incorporating some color into their routine. You guys know I love color, obviously. So much fun. It just makes me feel a certain kind of way, and I just want to share that with you guys. So definitely let me know if you have any of these palettes down below, what you think about them. You know, if you like color, if you have trouble incorporating it into your routine. I don't know if it's up when this video is going to be posted, but the week I'm gone at the beach, I will have a series on how to incorporate color into your everyday, you know, looks. This is probably the most intense it's gonna get, but I had to throw something, you know, really fun in there. But if it's already up, I'll link it above. If not, I'll link it, come back and link it when it actually goes live, because I think it's fun, and I think people need to stop being so afraid of color. It's okay. It's okay to put a blue on your eye, or a pink, or a green, or whatever the hell you want to put on your eyes. It's just makeup. It washes off. But guys, thanks so much for hanging out and talking about makeup with me today. So the person I want to shout out today, I want to shout out a channel. Her name's Lauren May Beauty. She is amazing. She's a working makeup artist. She puts out videos like it is her job. She's so good, but she always wears funky colors on the eyes, and she just makes them look so natural. And she's part of the reason she kind of inspired this whole video today. So definitely go check her out, show her some love, because she's awesome. But guys, thanks so much for hanging out and talking about makeup with me. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Have a rockin' week, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.